Hey guys! I realize I look like a crazy cabin witch with the hair and the lipstick, but I'm okay with that. I hope you can hear me over the wind chimes. It's a little windy today, but I wanted to film outside because I haven't got to in a while. I just wanted to check in because it's been a while since I've done my dogs are regulating on the neighbors driving through. I'm sure they really appreciate it. They can't get out, so it's okay. They're all bark. But I haven't done a video by myself in a while, so I just wanted to check in. Thanks for all the support on the interview videos. I have a few more coming. I have one more coming this week. My friend Jimmy is coming up on Sunday, and we're going to do a video, and I think he's going to talk about veganism, which I'm really excited about because I've tried to go vegan before. I've successfully been a vegetarian before, but it is something that I struggle with. Hold on just a second. Okay, look, now they're pitiful because they're inside, but they don't know how to act, so they're gonna have to be there for now. Incidentally, I knocked my Raid can off my banister, which is like an issue because this is like the second story balcony, so now you're propped up on an aloe vera plant. Not to spoil the movie magic, but so like I was saying, I really appreciate y'all's support with the interview videos. I think they're going really well. The one with Kat was super interesting to me. I learned a lot from it too. I feel like it hasn't been viewed as much as it should, so if you have a chance, go view that one. I'll probably link it at the end of this video. And then I've also done a new one with Betsy that's super informative that you guys should check out too. You know, she's always a wonderful guest. And then I'm gonna hopefully in this Sunday, I definitely have Jimmy coming up to talk about veganism, and then I want to schedule my second interview with Shanice, and then next weekend I'm filming with my friend Brittany about homesteading. So a lot of interesting topics coming up, and I'm sure more on the horizon. I did finally download some video editing software that is a little bit better than what I was using in the beginning. You can maybe tell the difference. I hope so. I still haven't got a camera and stuff yet. I had ordered it, but then there was like an issue with my order, and then I didn't realize it, and then it got canceled, and then I decided that was for the best anyway, because, you know, we just moved and we're trying to get stabilized, so, which has been challenging to say the least, which I would go into, but it involves a ton of personal information that I don't know that I'm quite ready to share on that level yet with the entire internet. So it is really interesting though, so maybe if it's for the views, I might do it. That's what it's all about after all. Let's see. Things at work have been good. Same old same. A lot of the clients are doing really well. Let's see. Diana's starting in a new daycare next week on Tuesday because they're closed for Labor Day, and that's really exciting. I think it's going to be really good. They have like a little playroom, and she'll have her own cubby, and she was in a daycare when we lived back in Gainesville, and she really did well playing with the older kids, so I think that'll be a good thing. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else exciting happened. I got to go to a couple of really exciting court-related things this week. I can't really go into too much detail there, but it was definitely a good learning experience. The sun. Oh, I made an appointment with my hairstylist, so that's exciting. I'm going to go at the end of the month and get my hair done. I'm going to get something really edgy and colorful done. Kind of try to gear the witchy vibes in a more modern direction where I can actually have a hairstyle instead of just like craziness, which this is a grown out hairstyle. Like, she cut it, she does a good job, but it's just like I haven't been in a while. That's why I look like a swamp witch. But not that that's a bad thing. Like I say, am perfectly happy to look like a swamp witch, but really it would be more of a mountain witch because I live in the mountains, but that's not the point. So I guess something I thought that might be interesting is, so one of my hobbies is that I read tarot and I collect tarot cards, although I did just give a bunch away to some of my friends, so I don't have like a super good collection to show. I just didn't, it was before I knew I was going to be doing YouTube and stuff, so, but if you would like a video or something, or a series about tarot, I would be happy to do that. That's pretty interesting. Let's see, just comment below if that's something you'd be interested in. The nails are still hanging in there. Some of them are. Some of them have fallen off and I've replaced with other nails. I ordered some more. They should be here soon. I think I should have got them already, but my mailman is like in protest because I guess, so half of our street, the mailboxes are on the same side of the road as the houses, and on the other side, they're on the opposite side, and we're right on the cusp, and we didn't know. We didn't have a mailbox set up when we moved here, so they, like, wrote us a letter saying we had to move it, and they said we had till September 9th, but I think she's already stopped delivering our mail to us in protest, so I think she just forgot what day she wrote, so, hopefully we'll get that fixed soon, and I'll have some fresh nails. I ordered them from a different website this time. I'll let you know how it goes. We'll see. I wanted just something a little more classic this time, and this website had what I was looking for. So, so also a story time. When I moved in, like the second day I was here, my neighbor came and knocked on our door and was like, "Hey, I want to introduce myself. I'm a realtor. Did you guys buy or rent this house?" Which I thought was nosy, but my mom, and well, really my mom mainly, thinks she was just being neighborly and old-fashioned, but I don't know. But she didn't understand that my dogs have like an invisible fence, so she was like, I thought they were gonna get her, and then she started running, and my dog Luna kind of, because she was running, chased her and like nipped her on the butt a little bit. Just her pants, but like she was really stressed out by it, and she hasn't really come by since. And she walked to the end of our yard on the other side of like this fake decorative fence we have, and she was like, "I think they can get out." And I was like, "Well, they can, because that fence isn't really a fence, but the collar that they have is what's stopping them." Oh, this light. I'll just have to lean really far forward. So I don't want to risk moving the aloe plant. It's pretty precarious. But they, kind of, I mean, it was a whole scene, and I was trying to explain to her that they have an invisible fence, so like as long as she doesn't just come into the yard unannounced and then run and act crazy, it would be fine, but she just didn't. She gets it now. But things have been tense, and I've been going for walks around the neighborhood, especially yesterday, because I was in court and in the car most of the day, and I was just really, really pent up, so I went for a walk to burn off some energy, and she kind of said something to me, and I had my earphones in, and I said, "Hey," and then she said something else afterwards that I feel like was passive-aggressive, you know how us Southern women are. If we bless your heart, you know you're in trouble, and it was like a very bless your heart vibe, but I just couldn't really hear her from headphones, and it's probably best I didn't. I mean, why ruin my day? Let's see. Anything else exciting? I mean, there's so much funny stuff going on in my life, but I just have to get the balls to talk about it on here. Gosh, it's just so hard, because you don't realize how much of your life and your inner thoughts you just keep private all the time until you're trying to make interesting content, because my friends think I'm super funny, but that's because I just blurt out the crazy stuff that goes on in my head and in my life, and it's just said, it's just verbal, and I trust them, and so they don't like there's no, like, it's not going to be recorded for forever on YouTube, so I'm just gonna have to woman up and do it. Maybe in my next video I'll write some like embarrassing, really personal stories that will be funny for you guys to laugh at my expense. and that'll be the next single video I do. Just comment below if you want to see me embarrass myself on the internet, because I've got plenty of material for that. I've been doing it for 31 years, just not on this level. So, but I feel like that's what it takes. Like, you have to be real and vulnerable. So that's like super hard for me. I don't, like, in a way, like, if I really get going, I just sort of like start blurting stuff out, and it's like really cathartic and therapeutic. But when it's something like this, where it's like planned and staged and a little scripted, it's like far harder for me. And it's like almost like stage fright in a way, because I know lots. I have 26 subscribers. I'm like, the world and lots of people, but like, you know what I mean? The potential's there for a lot of people to see it, and it's recorded forever, and you can't take it back. And you know, there's real ramifications in your life for what you put on the internet. So something to consider. Like, I feel like that's the trick with YouTube, unless you're doing something very niche or like a tutorial or something like that. Like, if you're just trying to make content based on your life and being entertaining, like, you have to really put it all out there. Like, you have to go all in, because to make interesting content, you have to like be really raw. Like, that's what it takes to be successful, and that comes at a price. So you have to make sure that the payoff is going to be worth it, and that the entertainment that you give people is a worthwhile trade-off for the problems it might cause in your personal life. And I guess that's probably how anyone feels that's on a public platform. Like, I know I've mentioned before that like sex work is work, including people who do porn for a living, and I just really don't know how they do that. Like, talk about vulnerable. Like, how brave can you be? Like, I can barely bring myself to go out in like a crop top sometimes without feeling like I'm making some sort of like body positivity statement, let alone be completely naked on camera and having sex and then trying to make it look appealing. Scares me. I don't know how they do it. And then they have to deal with the stigma for the rest of their lives, because once it's out there, and people are shitty. Not that I think it means they should stop. More power to them, and I hope they're all successful. I just think we should all treat them more respectfully. I don't think they need to be rescued or anything. I think that that's a bullshit complex, like that superhero gotta save. I mean, certainly I'm sure there's sex workers out there that get involved in that situation out of desperate times and don't want to be doing it. Just like there's people that do that with lots of jobs, like waitressing. That's soul-sucking. I did it for 12 years, and I don't feel like my dignity was spared by doing that instead of porn. Like, I think that at least if I had been doing something like that, I would have been making better money. But waitressing, it's like, you know, yeah, you might make like 100. I mean, so there are some people that work in cities and stuff, and I guess they make a lot of money. But the volume of people and the neediness level of people must go up too. Like, working in customer service is just so difficult. Working with the public is difficult. It's like, and it's crazy because I really believe in the goodness in people. I was just talking to someone today, and I was saying, like, everybody deserves to have somebody that believes in them and believes in the best in them. And I believe everyone's capable of being really good. I don't think people always choose that, and I think sometimes people get really confused about what is good, and that's where the problems come from in this world. But something about people in large groups, like especially behind computer screens, but also out in the world, like people in large groups, it's just, they just connect so crazy and rude and cruel, and that's a bummer. And I don't know why that is. I think it must be a societal thing, because that's not true everywhere. Like, I don't know how. I gotta organize my thoughts more on that before I have an opinion on it, but right now I guess my opinion is people on an individual basis good, but people in groups, that's a dice roll. Let's see. I've been spending a lot more time outside, so that's been really nice. I normally don't have this much time to myself when my brain's not secretly thinking about another person, whether it be like a client or my child. But my husband has her right now, and he's not here yet, so I'm kind of free to think and have a stream of consciousness, which is what you're experiencing. But there's something really therapeutic about being out in nature when it's quiet and really green and not too hot, and I don't know. I mean, I guess that's obvious. Like, who doesn't feel more relaxed when they're in nature? But it's still worth saying if you're looking for some peace of mind. I've also been listening to like a lot of music, which is like, I know that doesn't seem weird, but I'm normally much more of a podcast or audiobook kind of girl. But lately I've been all about some Trixie Mattel, which she's a drag queen folk singer. If you haven't experienced her, I highly recommend. Not just musically, but she's funny too, so you can YouTube her if you want to see some of her funny stuff. She has a series with this other drag queen named Katya. That's pretty funny. I think I've mentioned them in a previous video. Also a lot of Rainbow Kitten Surprise, which I know sounds like the most intense and insane band ever, but they're actually really chill and mellow, and I really like their lyrics. The Avett Brothers are folky and soothing. I've also been listening to some stuff that I find really motivational, which, like I mentioned in my video with Shanice, is like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce. I just have one of those voices that when I say stuff like that, I ruin it. I make it sound so uncool. Like, I'm not old, but when I talk about that stuff, I sound 100. But what are you going to do about that? You guys should see my view. It's so pretty right now. It's like being in a treehouse. It's like being in a treehouse, and that's really nice. I always wanted a treehouse, so I don't know. It's so beautiful up here. But like I said, things have just been so crazy since we moved. Like, nothing worked out the way we thought it was going to, and it's been really stressful on us both, and we've had to deal with a lot of interpersonal stuff between the two of us, and it's extra hard when you have a child, because you still gotta take care of the child and not fight in front of her, and it's just so challenging. Being an adult is so hard and weird and complicated. Like, and I feel like we think that when we get to whatever the next stage of life is, like in middle school and high school and early adulthood, we think we're going to have it figured out when we get to the next stage. And I think that's just a myth. Like, there's really no figuring it out. Like, we're all just winging it one day at a time. And that's why it's so important to be kind to one another, because that's really all we have in this world, is each little interaction we have with the next person. I've been really lucky that during all this craziness that's been going on, I've been surrounded by really positive people, and some of that were my existing friendships. Like, God, I'm so lucky to have people that love me like they do, because I'm not always easy to love, and that's been made quite clear to me by lots of people in my life. But I have some really amazing friends, and then the women that I work with are also really incredible. Like, they helped me find childcare when our arrangements fell through suddenly, and they always make sure we have everything that we need, and that I'm, as successful as I possibly can be in my new job. And they're just really kind and accepting, and that's the biggest part, I think. We're all really different, but we accept each other. And I know that sounds really cliche, but it really is pretty amazing if you experience it, to be accepted for who you are. It's a nice feeling. I did get in trouble at work this week because I've said the F word multiple times too loud. Not like out of anger, it was like part of a joke, but I have a hard time controlling the volume of my voice sometimes, especially if I've had a lot of coffee. And I had to have like a sit down, and they were like, can you just maybe not scream it at the top of your lungs 7,000 times a day? And I was like, yeah, that's a reasonable request, to not scream the F word in the office. Yes. And it was so sweet because it's like they felt weird talking to me about it, like that was like I had any ground to stand on, or like they were, that's a totally fine, reasonable thing for them to ask. But they're just such nice people. And also, like, there's just like some people that I correspond with online and stuff like that, and they're really nice and supportive, like people I've never even met in person. I don't know if you guys can hear that really loud motorcycle. Way to ruin the moment. But they're really nice and wonderful, and you just gotta try to find the good people that even if they don't always get you, that just like accept you in this world, because it is literally the most freeing and relieving feeling to not have to pretend to be something that you're not. And I know that sounds so trite, but it took me 31 years to really quit trying to be what other people wanted and just work on becoming somebody that I like. And I think that's like a lifelong journey, and I don't think I'm all the way there yet, but at least that's my mindset now, is that I try to be somebody that I like and somebody that I would be proud of if my daughter turned out like, because I'm her role model as her mother, which is frightening, but true. And I want to be like a strong and confident person and a woman who knows who she is, because that's what I want her to be. So now I really have to get my shit together and like try to find some kind of solid ground. So stay tuned. Well, thanks for watching my like ramble video. I hope that you guys got something out of it, or at least got some entertainment. I've been in such like a wistful, like philosophical mood lately, like real sappy. So thanks for being a part of that. Well, you guys just be considerate of others and be considerate of yourselves.